Let's go over which of Wall Street's favorite stocks makes the most sense to buy right now. I'm looking at some of my favorites, Microsoft, ServiceNow, and Palantir for this video, and I'm going to narrow down in my eyes which one makes the most sense to buy as of this week. So right now it's July 1st after the market is closed, but this should be relevant for maybe 1 or 2 more weeks until we revisit this subject because these are pretty volatile stocks. So before we get started, today was an amazing day. I alerted Pfizer V call options, and today I closed them up about 413%. This was after taking off 5 contracts already in profits, so I made about 3,300 from this trade, and literally one trade would have bought you lifetime VIP. SanDisk shorts was another position I took. I took this screenshot and sent it in the alerts channel a little bit before it kept on ripping. Went up about 21% today in one day after alerting, and I just alerted 2 more trades that are extremely similar. So if you want to get in them with me, those two still haven't moved a whole lot, and I'm only holding them until tomorrow or maybe up to Monday of next week. So make sure to join the Discord and you'll be able to trade with me in the Trade With Us channel. But anyways, let's talk about Palantir, ServiceNow, and Microsoft. So Palantir, I think obviously is the most in demand right now. It went up the highest, so it went up, it peaked up 9%, but it ended up about up 8%, and in the last few years it's up 1,000%, whereas ServiceNow in that time has fallen actually a good bit, like 50% from its peak, and Microsoft is pretty flat because it went up and it went down. So which one makes the most sense to buy right now, knowing that Palantir is kind of the favorite, but it's also pulled back. That's the reason why I'm looking to buy now. But I'm going to be honest, I'll keep it straightforward. After it gapped up a lot, I'm not really wanting to buy more Palantir because this was literally $107. On the 25th, I alerted a big Palantir buy, a big ServiceNow buy, and a big Microsoft buy. The market bottomed out there. They've all gapped up since then, and now I want to actually hold off on buying Palantir. So one of these two makes more sense to me, but let's just finish up. Let's wrap up why Palantir is not actively a buy. I just made almost 25% in a few days on it, and I like the stock. I'm holding, I'm not selling yet, but what I don't like is even after Trump's shout out, and even after we've had all the right things going on in the market for Palantir to keep moving up, it's really struggled. And because its price to sales ratio is so ridiculously high, it's actually been pulling back as we get other hyped up stocks. Because Palantir was all the rage. Now people are, well, retail traders are selling Palantir to buy, let's say, SanDisk, the one I shorted today, or what's some other like super hyped up Micron. Micron is another one, big one, maybe like Nebius, Iron, etc. And so retail traders aren't really on board with Palantir, but hedge funds are kind of stepping in a little bit heavier. That's why I placed my $100 buy, or about $100. Anyways, we're eliminating Palantir. Let's just look at ServiceNow and Microsoft. And again, what we've seen, I'm talking about this week basically, is a huge gap up from ServiceNow, going from the very low 80s to $100. Now, in overnight hours, even with the pullback, we're still at about the same price that President Trump bought. And so to me, ServiceNow is still a screaming buy. They still have actually about 40% upside. Let's scroll all the way down here. Still, okay, 33% upside. Strong buy all across the board if you look at like the 30 or 40 analysts that have reviewed it. Whereas Microsoft, even though it has the upside, let's scroll down here, 45% upside. It has more upside according to analysts. This one has been lagging behind even while the market's been up a lot. So we'll see days where the market's up like 1, 2, or 1.5%, and Microsoft's just flat or even down. Whereas ServiceNow, it's beta. It's been moving pretty similar to the market, but also even having bigger green days than Microsoft relative to the S&P 500, as we saw today. So I think ServiceNow right now makes the most sense. As a very long-term investment, maybe Microsoft will beat it. But if we're talking about what I'm looking to buy on dips, what I'm looking to sell cash secured puts off of just to buy more shares, it's got to be ServiceNow. And I'd like to keep buying until it gets to 140, really. I mean, we're still below the price that Trump bought it at. whereas Microsoft is still, it's up a good bit from my entries, and ServiceNow not so much. So this is one I'd like to accumulate more of. Guys, make sure you join the Discord and subscribe for daily videos.